Hello, word nerds. Welcome to our live Sunday chat. This week, we are doing last month's book club, and we are talking about Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour. This is a contemporary LGBT romance, and I guess we're just gonna kind of kick things off and tell you how we liked it. So, Emma, what did you rate it?
I gave it 5 stars. I really liked it. I think it's a really sweet, good romance. It's a really good light book. I think I read it in a day and a half or something. It's good. I like it.
Megan?
Yeah. I also gave it 5 stars. A real 5-star chat. I loved it. I read it in 3 hours today. I finished it maybe 2 hours ago. So I'm excited to talk about it.
I read it a while ago, but according to Goodreads, it was 5 stars for me too. I remember it being a really quick read for me as well, and just really liking the work dynamic of the book, which is not something you see in YA a lot. So it was a little different, and I liked it a lot. But you people who have a fresher idea of what this plot was, kick us off.
Yeah, though it is like a YA. She's YA aged, and she's finishing up high school. It felt very much more like a new adult to me, for sure, because of that work dynamic and finding your passion and career sort of feels.
Yeah. I definitely, because I think it's not until a few chapters in that she specifically says high school. At the very beginning, she's just gotten out of class. And so because she was going to work after class and all this stuff, I kind of assumed that she was college freshman or something at the very beginning. I wasn't sure what type of school she was talking about. So yeah, it definitely could be very new adult-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is one of those books of what I want new adult to be, not necessarily what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a book that I've never really seen a book like this, or that's done this so well, but that told a story from the point of view from the person who would typically be the friend character, or the love interest. It felt like Ava's story, but it was also told from this other perspective, and she had her own story.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I think it's very well could have been told from Ava's point of view, but I think
I would love to read it from Ava's point of view.
But I think Emmy's point of view was the better choice for the book.
It dealt a lot with the themes that I feel you see a lot in John Green books, the whole viewing people as not people.
Yeah.
That's idols type of thing. Yeah.
The pedestal.
Yes. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. I also got all sorts of California feels while reading it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's really hard to describe, but she described it well. Just this feeling that California has of this place is big and anything can happen here. And so the whole time I was reading it, I was I just want to move back to California. I miss it.
And then she would describe sitting in traffic, and I was no, I don't want to live in California.
They have public transportation, though. You don't have to sit in traffic.
The bus has to sit in traffic.
No, the trolley. The trolley has no traffic.
Too many people.
Yeah, that one state has as many people as Canada. So.
And the housing might cost as much as all the housing in Canada combined, too.
Probably.
Oh, but it was also perfectly described.
Yeah, it definitely was. It definitely was. It gave me the thing. I've never even been to California, and I was I want to go to California. It sounds so cool. Working on movie sets and solving mysteries and going to estate sales of rich people.
Yeah. And it was all super, super accurate. My husband is from close to Los Angeles, and then we lived a little farther south in San Diego, but the only thing even close to an inaccuracy location-wise that I could piece out was that the older couple talks about shopping at Vons, and Vons is the nicer grocery store. the only thing. So good.
Any thoughts on the romance elements?
It was good.
Maybe a short chapter.
No, it was really cute. I thought it was well done that like it didn't like I don't know, like it felt very real, like that whole like it was like there was like insta love, but also she held back on it, which I think is very realistic. That yes, as a teenager, like you meet someone, you're like, oh, this person, it's just meant to be, you know?
Definitely going to marry them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that she had like the friend to be like, you should maybe cool it just a little bit.
Yeah.
Wait and see how things go, because you just broke up with the person you were in love with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We have lots of word nerds who are sick or out of town today.
Yeah.
So we're missing them.
Nice.
There was something I was going to say about the romance. It was very related. I had lots of feelings about Charlotte, though. If I remember what I was going to say about the romance, we can come back to that.
Okay.
But I loved Charlotte at the beginning, and I loved Charlotte at the end, but I wanted a little more Charlotte in the middle. I felt like.
Yeah, I really liked Charlotte a lot.
Yeah.
Please remind me who Charlotte is.
She's the best friend.
The best friend.
Yeah. The one who's in love with the brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wondered, like, Charlotte has so many opinions, and she's, like, if she thinks something, she's going to say it. And so there were a couple times where I felt like she was kind of displeased with how things were going for Ava and Emmy. And so I kept waiting for, like, things to come to a head with that, and it felt like they never really did.
Yeah. Mm.
But I still loved her.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of feel like she was like very like yeah, she had a lot of opinions about like how Emmy should be doing things, and at the end she was like, never mind. I was wrong all along. Go run after her.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I definitely like her.
Mm-hmm. I wish that Toby was in the book more, the brother.
Yeah, I like.
I would have loved to see him be in there more.
Yeah.
He seemed so great. And the parents, too. They seemed so amazing, too.
I know,
I wanted them to be on the page more. I wanted them to be, like, on the set, piecing things together for her.
Yeah, I feel like there's just, like, a lot of, like very real characters in it. Like, even just, like, Jamal and the, like, directors of the movie, like, everybody in it.
Mm-hmm. And the old couple in that apartment complex.
Yes, I love them.
I wish I'd
Plain
read that.
cookies.
Yes.
Yeah, inside of library books, they're not just always there whenever you want to read them again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm probably going to buy this book just so I can have it.
I bought it for
So
super
good.
cheap on
Yeah,
Amazon.
the paperback is like $6 right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was pretty great. Because, yeah, like, none of the libraries around me had it, so I was like, guess I'm buying it.
Oh, darn.
I'm so dedicated by this book. But, yeah. Like, I do feel like some things, like, with Emmy's, like, life and story were very, like, everything works out for her so well. But, like, I was able to look past it. But there were times where I was like, seriously, she's, like, already got this awesome internship just because of her brother. And then, like, she's 16 and is, like, the head design person for this movie. And she happens to find this letter from, like, this famous movie star to his daughter. Like, I don't know, it's like everything great happens to Emmy.
Everything leads to her.
Yeah. Like, she kind of leads a very enchanted life.
I think that's part of, like, her character's flaw.
Yeah.
Her life is so perfect that she doesn't
Yeah.
really, like, it doesn't even compute for her at first that Ava's life would be anything other than this perfect story, because Emmy wants a perfect story, and Emmy's gonna get a perfect story.
Yeah. Well, even, like, at the very beginning when, like, the head design person, like, changes the design for the room, and she gets, like, so angry, and I'm like, you're 16, how much do you know about designing movies? But yeah, she's like so convinced. I was glad that she like has a moment where she realizes that like the director's vision actually like did work with like the whole vision of the film, and that like that her like what she designed was beautiful, but it didn't fit with the film.
Yeah. Cool. I just got chills because that is like such a parallel for everything she realizes in the book. Like the whole time it's her realizing like, oh, well, my vision for Ava doesn't match with the whole story, and my vision for this room didn't match with the whole story. And then when she's picking the pictures to go in Juniper's room, she realizes, or she has to be told that like they don't match, and she needs something better to go with the whole story.
Yeah, it's totally true.
It was just really well done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. The whole time I was reading it, it was like, wow, I wish I could write something like this.
For real. And I did see like in some like reviews, people were talking about like in all of Nina LaCour's books, the main character always has like a really cool like passion, you know, like it's not just like, oh, I'm just going to school every day and I do nothing with my extra time. Like they all have like something, like one of them I guess does like photography, and
that makes me want to read more of her books.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was reading, I should have researched this more before we went live, but I was reading the acknowledgments of the book, and she talked about how like she went and made the movie for Hold Still.
Yeah,
and how
she
that,
worked
like,
on
inspired a lot of this book.
I saw that too.
See, some real people just lead enchanted lives, and we just
apparently Nina LaCour does too.
Stand back and resent them.
Yeah.
Stand back and be like, how?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see. I definitely want to like read her other books now.
Yeah.
But they talked about her, oh, like she has the love for it or whatever. Yeah.
I also saw someone complain in a review. They were like, I don't know, they were complaining about like character development not being good enough, and they were like, we don't even know like how Ava and Charlotte became friends. And I'm like, well, sometimes people have lifelong friends. That's just how it is. Like, why did it have to be like, oh, they became friends in the book?
Her entire life started at this moment. Before that, like, nothing.
Most YA books, they like have a friend who's always been their friend. It doesn't always have to be a big thing. Like, we met when both our moms died. Like, you know, like
we were in the same class in first grade.
Yeah, they went to school together and they became friends, and they've stuck together.
Yeah,
it was
like,
a weird
most of your
comment.
childhood best friends come from proximity and not necessarily like shared childhood experiences.
Yeah, it was weird. Oh, what did you think about Morgan?
Morgan. The ex-girlfriend.
Thanks.
No problem.
I felt conflicted over her because like she helped Emmy in so many ways and was like so nice, but also she treated her so awfully.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know if I want you to be here or if I want you to just leave and never come back. I liked how at the end, I don't know, I didn't feel like Morgan changed that much, but I liked how Emmy's perception of her changed and how she came to accept, like, well, we work well together, so we're gonna need to work together.
Yeah.
But that's it. Yeah. One of the things I liked so much about Emmy, I think, even though occasionally I was like, okay, calm down, but I liked how much she like wore her emotions on her sleeve, just very like, oh, look at Morgan, she's so pretty and so smart and so good at everything. I love her.
Yeah. I know, it's like one of those things that like has to be written well, because I think even with this book, as well written as it is, I think some people will read it and be like, oh, Emmy's so unlikable because of that sort of thing. Like, I feel like she's very like rash, but like, I don't know, it's very realistic, and there are people like that, you know. And I think, yeah, it's written well in her case because she learns from it without like sacrificing who she is.
Yeah.
5-star books are the worst, guys.
I know. They're so great.
They're so good, but so hard to talk about at length.
It's like I loved it, but also in like the 2 weeks that have passed since I read it, I don't remember like quite as much that I like wanted to talk about at the time.
I remember it all.
Like you just finished it or something.
It was just so good. Like my only complaint has been I wanted more Charlotte.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like or dislike that it didn't take this turn, but I was also kind of expecting Charlotte to show more of her struggle with leaving Emmy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kept waiting for her to express worry that she was being replaced early by Ava or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Could see that.
Yeah. But I loved the scene with them on the beach when they go and get the tacos.
Yeah.
And then so well described. They like dodge all the rollerbladers and the bicyclists. It was so great. They go to the beach and the sun is setting. And you guys, I miss California. That's my number one takeaway. Oh, off topic if we want to. Since we've been on for like 10 minutes.
And we love it. We love this book. That's what we have to say.
We really do. Number one, if you haven't read it, you should.
Mm-hmm. I will say, like, going into it, I expected it to be, like, from the description, I expected them to be spending, like, the whole book trying to solve this mystery and, like, find the person. So I thought it was interesting that they find her so early on. And then it's about, like, helping her, like, kind of find herself and Emmy finding herself and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
That really, like, I feel like the indie movie was more like the backbone of the plot rather than finding the person that the letter was about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How did you guys feel about the scene where Ava takes her friends and confronts her mom?
Oh my gosh.
Her adopted mom.
The mom. That was the one character I didn't love in this book, was the adopted mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good scene.
It hurt me on the inside.
Yeah. Everything about Ava's past hurt me on the inside.
Yeah. And it was like I understood why she wanted all the details and why she wanted to know everything about how her mom died and all of that. Mm-hmm. But then at the same time, I just wanted to like push her away. Like, no, you don't need to know that. It's just gonna hurt you.
The Emmy inside of you. It's like, let's just move on. You had a rich grandpa. Cool.
Yeah. Isn't that what really matters here? It reminded me kind of The Distance Between Us, because they also go to lots of estate sales and stuff in that book. I think it's in or by Casey West, maybe. I can't remember, and it's on my book. Yeah, it was good. Not as good as Everything Leads to You. It was very good as well. Yeah, it felt like a whole new world reading about the estate sales. Just like, what? This happens?
Well, that was how I felt with the set design stuff. Like, she felt so passionately about this thing that I never really thought about at all. There's just like this whole huge part of her life that she was super involved in. And I'd never even considered that was a career.
Yeah, I actually heard about it earlier this year for like the first time ever, because I was watching some like behind the scenes stuff about the Big Bang Theory. And they had the set designer on talking about how she had gone to all these crazy sales and flea markets and stuff to find all of the pieces on the set of Sheldon and Leonard's apartment in the Big Bang Theory. And it seemed so interesting then. So I was really excited when I picked up this book and saw that it also dealt with that.
That's really
also, it made me really want to make a movie.
This whole book had me being like, man, I wish I grew up in California and got to the movie making business. It sounds so fun.
It sounds so fun and stable and not hard at all.
Yeah. With parents who are film professors and
yeah. Yeah. It was weird, like, I feel like you don't think about when watching movies that the exterior of the house that they're showing you is not the exterior of
yeah.
the sets and everything.
Yeah. Isn't it like there's some movie or TV show? It's either it's either Full House or Father of the Bride. I can't remember which one. Where there's like a house for the front, a house for the inside, a house for the backyard. Like it's like all these different houses. Make the perfect house.
The perfect house. I learned that in Atlanta is the house that was President Snow's in the Hunger Games movies.
They filmed
so
all
I really want to go see it. Yeah. It's like some fancy historical house.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
I was actually flipping through the book and I found this one scene that reminded me of something, which is that like as much as I love this book, I do feel like sometimes the like writing wasn't like the best it could be. Like it would like I'm specifically thinking of this one scene where they're like in the fancy penthouse apartment that Ava gets, or no, sorry, it's in the hotel room she gets before the apartment, and like they're pulling up the laptop to look up apartments, and like there's this whole thing where they're like talking about getting the Wi-Fi password and like, oh, call them, do this, I'm like, you literally could have just summed that up with like, we called the front office to get the Wi-Fi
got the
Wi-Fi. And like things like, there were some things like that where I was like, okay. But yeah. But I like the story.
I remember that part too. I was like, yeah. Taking a while.
Yeah.
She didn't have the Wi-Fi password already?
Yeah, it's like there were times where there were things that like it described plot-wise, but I was like, we really didn't need all of this. Or like I would be confused about like where they were. I don't know, like there were some like weird, clunky moments, but it was so good that I was willing to overlook it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was reading it on a screen this time, which I don't normally do. Like I had it up on my computer instead of in my Kindle or something.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't tell if it was like the writing or the screen that like sometimes I was having a hard time keeping up with the names or whatever.
Yeah, no, it's true. Oh, I do really love when they like watch the movie that Caroline was in.
Yeah.
And they like just get to see her in that like one scene. And they watch it like 5 times. And her parents are so cool in that scene. Yeah. Everybody's great.
Everyone is great. The subtitle of this book.
Everyone's great. Except for the adopted mom.
Except for, what's her name? Tracy?
Tracy, yeah.
And I loved how when you go and visit her like penthouse that she's bought, like I felt like first of all Nina did such a good job of describing the uncomfortableness of like it didn't feel right that she was in there. And then later when we see it and she's got like all her stuff in this one corner and she's got like her script and a blanket and then the TV is playing that movie. Like what an amazing detail.
Man.
My heart, my feels.
Also, I want a little apartment like Toby's apartment. It's way cool.
Right?
Sounds so awesome. What is that buzzing noise?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I was like, yeah.
Oh, it's Megan.
It's kind of creepy.
She's moving her mouth.
Yeah, we
can't hear what she's saying.
Yeah, we can't hear what you're saying.
Can't hear you now.
Yep.
Please hold for technical difficulties. And as we figure out what else to talk about now.
Yeah. Hey, we made it like almost half an hour.
I guess we could, like, this is our last book club of the year. We could transition into if anyone has any recommendations for us for books we should look at next year.
Definitely. And if you didn't see it, we do have like a poll type thing on Goodreads where you can give your opinion. It's in yesterday's video. There's a link.
Yeah, I can't link to it in the chat here. But
right. Good.
Emma's video yesterday talks about just this big Goodreads list we have to nominate books for the 2017 book club picks. I don't know how far in advance we're going to pick this year. But we're as far in advance as we can. So
January will be The Cursed Child, so if you haven't read it yet, you should do that finally.
Take the 3 hours it takes to read it.
Yeah.
So yeah, spoilers, you don't need to vote for that one. It's already
It's already January. But it is like second on the list, I think. Or third. I think it's third on the list.
I had the list up and then I lost it. Yeah, nope, that's not it.
I know Six of Crows is at the very top of the list.
Yeah.
It's been very popular.
Yeah, and then I think Court of Thorns and Roses is second, but we will have a discussion about the size of that book and what we want to do. Yeah. Lots of options.
Yes. Lots of great books. I had a really hard time limiting myself.
Well, I was going to say, since we have nothing else to talk about right now, are there any books you nominated that you would like to plead the case for? Anything you especially think we should read?
Look back at the list. I mean, I already know we're going to do The Call because 5 of us voted for that one. So
yeah. I really liked 1,000 Pieces of You.
I have it on my Nook. I haven't read it yet.
And that one series finished this year.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Oh, I know. I'm going to put in my voice for also something that just finished and I very much love, Wolf by Wolf.
Okay.
It's not performing well on this list, but it's so good. I'm obsessed with it. I haven't read the second one yet, but I'm very excited for it.
I think she just said hello.
Yeah.
No hello.
Yep.
No. Because, like, The Hate You Give isn't out until February.
Right.
So at the earliest, we'd be doing it, like...
Into the year, probably.
Yeah. So the thing, we should be looking at, like, big releases from this year.
Yeah.
Megan's...
Yeah. I feel like we have a lot of big releases that have come out, like, at the end of this year.
Yeah.
Which is good that we have on here, because we have, like, Labyrinth Lost and The Reader.
I remember both of those. Kyra said she's tried and hasn't loved, so.
Yeah. We have both of them at work, so maybe I'll try them and see what I think. I know Megan has The Reader.
We don't want to find books that are just kind of meh, because we've had issues with that before. But also, we start, like, if we just find ones that we love all the time, we end up with chats like this one.
Yeah. We have to find things we feel strongly about.
Yeah.
And have lots of things to say about.
So, yeah, like, I feel like the Raven Boys we talked about pretty extensively.
I could do a whole chat on that already again.
So we just have to find 11 books that we love as much as the Raven Boys.
Yeah.
Okay, The Cursed Child, I think, is going to be fine. Like, that people will have opinions on.
Yeah. I think we'll probably have a lot to say about The Call if we do that. There's just a lot about the book. Like, yeah, it just has to be books that have a lot. I feel like sometimes contemporary books are hard. I feel like I've noticed that. Because, like, they're great, but also, like, they're not very complex a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to, you're not really getting
You're
into
not
all,
talking
like,
about world building and
yeah.
politics. And,
Yeah. Exactly.
I know Six of Crows Erin has tried and struggled with, so maybe it might just be an up and up 5-star for her. We can hope.
Yeah. I think we should definitely, when we get closer to choosing, like we should maybe have kind of like a tentative list, and maybe we can each take a couple and like try reading the beginning of them just to see what we think of it.
Because yeah, like The Call, we already know Rachel and Erin have loved.
I'm obsessed with it. It's so good.
There we go. So I think that one's probably a safe bet.
That one we're good on. I love The Girl from Everywhere a lot.
Yeah, and yeah, that one I think is probably a pretty safe bet as well.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, I thought it was a standalone for some reason.
Second book comes out soon, I think.
Oh yeah, February 28th. Someone loved The Orphan Queen.
Me. It's really good. I also liked that it was only a duology. Yeah, it was really good.
All right. I think we might as well just wrap this chat up because Megan can't talk to us anymore.
And she's the one who read it most recently.
Yeah.
I can't read lips.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. This was kind of an unconventional chat, but it almost didn't happen, and we showed up anyway, so that has to count for something.
Yes.
We'll be back next week to talk about Fantastic Beasts. Yes.
Which I finally saw yesterday.
We'll talk about next week.
Yes. So we're gonna talk about it next week, and then hiatus starts after that.
We've gone back and forth on like a
Megan, give us the dates.
Please hold for Megan.
I know 2 weeks ago we kind of decided on dates. Okay, so the 18th will be our last live chat.
Yeah. 18th, 19th through the
7th. Okay. So,
all right, so we're on hiatus between the 19th of December and the 7th of January. We're going to do one last live chat on the 18th and then go on a bit of a break for the holidays and hopefully get organized for the new year. But first we are talking about Fantastic Beasts next week, and then after that is probably just going to be a party, chatting about books kind of thing. So thank you so much for watching today. We had fun, if it was quick, but it was a good time. We really appreciate all of you guys joining us, and we will see you next week along with all of the videos along the way. Bye!